YouTube, what's going on? Kevin, the Tech Ninja here. And first, I want to apologize about the previous speed test video. I made a lot of mistakes in that video. My very first time doing a speed test, but I took all the criticism and I'm actually back with another speed test. And hopefully, this one is much better than the last one. This is gonna be a speed test between the OnePlus 7 Pro and the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So both of these devices have 12 gigabytes of RAM, Snapdragon 855, and UFS 3.0. So before every test, I did a full reboot of both phones. I also ensured that the battery level is charged to a good level to prevent any sort of potential throttling, connect to the same Wi-Fi network, and there's nothing running in the background. And so we're gonna run a few different tests today to determine a couple of things. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a reboot test. We're gonna see which phone reboots faster. I was able to hit restart on both phones at the exact same time, and I've also ran this test around 3 times too with the exact same results. The Note 10 Plus was just a faster phone to reboot. I would say around 3 to 5 seconds on each test. This very next test we're doing is going to be the in-screen fingerprint sensors. We're going to see which one is actually faster. Samsung is using an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, and OnePlus is using an optical fingerprint sensor. We're gonna unlock and lock the phone 10 times. So we're gonna lock it, turn the screen on, unlock it 10 times in a row while timing it to see which one's actually faster. So the OnePlus 7 Pro comes in at about 2 seconds faster. I did find that the hotspot was a bit more generous than on the Note 10 Plus, so I was able to find it a little bit easier, and also it popped up faster too. Whereas on the Note 10 Plus, it was just a slight delay where I had to press the finger on, and you do that over 10 times, you're gonna get faster speeds. Okay, so the next test is that we're going to launch a series of applications, and we're gonna time it, and we're gonna figure out which phone is faster. Once again, coming off a reboot, and battery life was pretty good on both phones, and I made sure there was nothing running in memory, and all the apps were signed in. Everything was pretty much the same, as similar as I could make it. I did it here, and I don't know another way of doing it, so this is sort of how we're gonna roll with this test. I also did it 3 separate times, and I'm recording 3 scores, and I'm gonna take the fastest score out of all of them and compare them so we can try to eliminate human error and find the best possible scenario. What I'm noticing is that the Note overall ends up being a hair slower launching apps than the OnePlus 7 Pro, and that could be due to the animations. So after this test, I'm gonna turn off animations and see if that is the case. Of course, there is gonna be some human element in there, but again, I ran these tests 3 separate times, and it's been consistent between these 3 rounds. So the OnePlus 7 Pro consistently was always about a second or a second and a half faster. And from tapping the first app, the difference was there and it just never caught up. Now these phones do have different animation patterns, so I ran the test again 3 more times when I went to developer settings and turned off animations. So as you can see, once you take the animations out of it, these phones are neck and neck. I ran this 3 separate times, and each time that they were within a few milliseconds of each other, so I really can't call one phone faster than the other because human error does come into play, especially when you're talking fractions of a second. But regardless, it is amazing to see that both these phones run so fast, and it's crazy how animations can make you think a phone is much faster or slower, but once you eliminate those from the whole equation, you see that these are actually the same speed. Although both phones have 12 gigabytes of RAM, I was just curious to see after running these tests if they kept these apps in memory. Not being super scientific here, just wanted to launch these applications and to see if they had to reload or if they just opened the way I left them. And from the looks of it, both phones kept all the apps in memory from this experiment, as expected because you have a lot of RAM on board. So what do you think about the results? I was expecting the OnePlus 7 to be way faster than the Galaxy Note 10. And Samsung still, to this day, gets a bad rap about their operating system because people remember the days of TouchWiz, but since One UI dropped, things have gotten a whole lot faster and a whole lot smoother. And obviously you compare it to the phone that I think is the fastest Android phone, which is going to be the OnePlus 7 Pro, and it goes neck to neck with this phone. So that right there is pretty impressive. Anyways, guys, make sure you leave a comment, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.